I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
People have had it. Home prices are just getting to be too expensive. The interest rates are too high, and now sellers are forced to slash their prices. Now, you may recall a couple of months ago, I did a video talking about this very thing, about certain markets in the country where we're starting to see the housing market soften, and it looks like that trend is continuing. So in this video, I'm going to share with you stats from Realtor.com and Zillow.com. They're talking about the increase in the price reductions on listings that are on the market today. So it does appear that the cycle of rising home prices are finally breaking. So let's get into this right now. So it's common knowledge the home prices in the US have risen over the past 4 years. First of all, because of the pandemic, people were able to work from home, right? A lot of companies shut down, so people work from home. That was able to help people move to different parts of the country and get out of big cities and, just live wherever they want. So people flocked to Florida, Texas, Boise, Idaho, Las Vegas. A lot of those markets saw a huge influx in people moving there. So therefore, prices started to skyrocket. Those low interest rates was able to give more buying power to people. So, they took advantage of it and they wanted to buy. So that brought a huge number of buyers to the housing market. And number three, let's not forget about our friends, those corporate investors. So I don't know if we want to call them friends. So the corporate investors, institutional investors, they scapped up a lot of homes, specifically in the Sunbelt area, and turned those into rentals. But that's a topic for another day. I don't want to get into that right now. But they were also a contributing factor to the rise in home prices and also the low inventory, right? So low inventory, high demand, high prices. And here we are 4 years later, and people are just fed up with it. A study was done recently at Harvard University by the Joint Center of Housing Studies, and they found that first-time home buying dropped in the United States. The U.S. home ownership rate increased only by 0.1 percentage point in 2023, and that's the lowest increase since 2016. So the first-time home buyers are really getting squeezed out here, and they have been struggling and basically fighting to get a home, but it's just getting too darn expensive. So now the housing market is shifting in certain parts of the country, and that trend does seem to be increasing because it's just too darn expensive. Now, Realtor.com's article talks about the increase in price reductions, and they mention certain markets where they're seeing the highest increase in these price reductions. But overall, in the United States, in May of 2024, there was an increase in price reductions from 12.7% in May of 2023 to 16.6% in May of this year. So that's a good sign, guys. We're starting to see these prices come down a little bit. Maybe not by much, but they're starting to come down. Realtor.com also said that 46 out of the 50 largest metro markets saw the share of price reductions in May of 24. Now, who saw the most increase in these price reductions? Well, first of all, the South. The South saw a 4.9 percentage point increase year over year. The West recorded 3.3% increase in reductions, Midwest 2.2%, and the Northeast 1.2%. They also went on to say that the number of homes on the market in May had increased 34.2% since a year prior. Homes are now spending an average of 44 days on the market. So that's leaving homeowners with no choice but to cut their prices. I mean, this is the one thing I always tell my sellers. What's the number one reason why you haven't gotten an offer on your house? Is because your price is too high. And my rule of thumb is if you don't get any offers within the first 2 to 3 weeks that your home is on the market, we have to look at your price. This is what's happening in a lot of markets in the country right now, that prices are just too darn high for people. So now where is Realtor.com saying that we're seeing the largest number of price reductions? Well, 2 of the markets are in Florida. I did a video a couple of months ago talking about this. Florida was one of those areas where we're seeing the most in price reductions and the market softening. So Realtor.com mentions Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Florida, 28.6% of the homes on the market had price reductions. That's a 10.9 percentage point increase since last year. Jacksonville, Florida is another market. 27.3% of the homes listed in Jacksonville had price reductions. That's a 10.2 percentage point increase since last year. They go on to mention Charlotte, North Carolina. I was a little surprised about this one, but in Charlotte, 19.4% of the homes listed in Charlotte had price reductions. That was an 8.3 percentage point increase since last year. Now, I wanted to move on to Zillow and share what they're talking about. Now, look, I talk about, I'm not a big fan of Zillow, but you know what? Everybody goes to Zillow for their information, not only for the housing stuff to look at listings, but for their market reports and what have you. So I figured I would share that too. Now, Zillow had some interesting information here. Zillow is saying that they saw an increase in inventory. Yes, they're calling this the inventory infusion. They go on to say new listings from sellers took a significant step up in May, rising 8% month over month. That was a bit more than pre-pandemic averages, and it was 13% above last year's extremely low pace. Zillow is going on to say here that the effects of the lock-in, the golden handcuffs, people having low interest rates, not wanting to sell their homes because of that, it's starting to lessen. Why? Because life happens, guys. It's been 4 years now, and these sellers, they really can't wait anymore. Zillow did a survey of recent sellers, and they found that 80% of them, 80% of home sellers, they were influenced by life events such as marriage, having more children, just needing a bigger house. That's what's forcing them to sell. In that case, they are willing to give up the low interest rate, and they're going to be selling their house now. I just wanted to take a quick second to let you know that if you are in need of a real estate agent in your part of the country and you can't find one, click the link down below in the description box, fill out the form, and I will get back to you within 24 hours. I'm connected to tons of agents around this country, and I would be happy to help get you connected to one in your market. So Zillow has this little interesting thing. If you go on their website, you can find this. It's called the Zillow's Market Heat Index. And I find this kind of cool. Like, again, I'm not a fan of Zillow, but maybe they do a couple of cool things. So if you look here at Zillow's Market Heat Index, they break it down. They have the buyer's market, neutral market, seller's market, and strong seller's market. Now, there aren't a ton of buyer's markets, but right now they're pretty much located in Florida. A majority of them are here in Florida, New Orleans, Jackson, Mississippi, and Memphis. And you also have McAllen, Texas. So if you look down the list here, it does specifically list the areas where there is a buyer's market. And we're talking Cape Coral, Florida, McAllen, New Orleans, and even all the way down to Memphis, Tennessee. Now, there are neutral markets. So these are the markets that are probably becoming more of a balanced market. They're sitting on the market for longer, closer to, several months. So that's what's creating the balanced market. So if you look here, you have Baton Rouge, Louisiana, over here in Texas. We have San Antonio, El Paso, Oklahoma City, Lakeland, Florida. And then you go up into over here to Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Nashville. They're all starting to come back down in prices. They're becoming more of a neutral market. So that is a good sign. It's good to see that the trend is spreading outside of Florida. Now, look at all the markets here. We have still sellers markets going on in a lot of these areas, like in California, in Utah, Colorado, Philadelphia, South Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Now, the strong sellers markets are all up in the Northeast. Now, you have Buffalo, New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey, it's still a crazy market here. Richmond, Virginia, up into Massachusetts, Connecticut, like New Hampshire. So those areas are still strong sellers markets. Now, I know it doesn't seem like a lot of markets, but you can see by that map, it's starting to change. It's starting to shift in other parts of the country. So these price reductions, this is a welcome sign for this housing market. So let's take a look at Zillow's other stats. Now, they go on to talk about the inventory and new listings. So they show that new listings increased 7.9% month over month in May. There were 12.6% more new listings compared to last year. Now, their stats show that new listings are still 23.3% lower than pre-pandemic levels. And the total inventory, meaning the number of listings that are active at any time during the month, that increased by 7.4% in May compared to the month prior. They also say that there were 22.1% more listings active in May compared to last year. However, inventory levels are still 33.8% lower than pre-pandemic levels for the month, but that is the smallest deficit in more than 3 years. So this is a good sign. Can anybody score a deal at this point? I wouldn't say you could score a deal, but the prices are coming back down. Now, they're not going to crash. We're not looking at 20 to 30, 40% price reductions. We're not. But at this point, every little bit helps. So wherever you are in the country, if you're looking to buy, definitely keep an eye on the market, keep watching this. And of course, I'll keep bringing you all the information as I find these things out. So if you want to know where the other markets are, where they're starting to soften and where the housing bubble is starting to burst, you can check out this video right here. It's got all that information in there. Thank you so much for watching me today to get your dose of real estate reality. My name is Jackie Baker, and I will see you next time.